Well, the enigma that is Allan St Maximin back in the news for probably the wrong reasons again with his comments in a French magazine regarding, being as good as Sadio Mane, getting assists if he had better players around him. Is it a kick in the teeth to his teammates, or does he have a genuine point? Let's have a look. Hi everybody, I'm Paul back again with another video, and today we're talking about Saint Maximin and his comments regarding being around better players would get him more assists within the team. Probably he said around 10 to 15. Now for me, you could look at it both ways. Is it a kick in the teeth to his teammates, or does he have a genuine point? Now if we look at the first point there, saying about is it a kick in the teeth for his teammates, I think it is. Because you look at team morale and you look for everybody to be together. And what Maximin has come out and said really is not very nice towards his teammates. And yet we know that some of the players around him aren't good enough. We know that. But you don't come out publicly and say it and really have a dig at your teammates. Because for me, that's what he's doing. And, there's been various things in recent weeks about Saint Maximin being a team player. Is it all about him, or is it all about being a team player? Now, that interview there would stipulate that he's all about him. And he's complaining that his teammates aren't good enough. And that's really not a team player. These things are maybe contained in the dressing room. If you have something to say, go and say it to the manager. Don't come out in public in a French magazine and say something like that. Because what he actually said was, those who have played with me know very well that in terms of pure quality, I have nothing to envy from Sadio Mane. Now, that first bit is laughable because for me, Saint Maximin is nowhere near on a level of Sadio Mane. And if he really believes that in his head, then he may as well quit now because he's not going to learn anything else. And he thinks he's the bee's knees and as good as Mane. Now, what Mane has over Saint Maximin is a finishing product. Saint Maximin cannot run with the ball and shoot. It's quite clear. Because when he does cut across, he can't get a shot away. It's just a little powder puff thing that rolls to the goalkeeper or rolls wide of the post. He scored against Man United by doing that, but that wasn't a clean hit either, remember. So, what he's saying there is utter lunacy, in my opinion. And if this guy truly believes he is good as Sadio Mane, then we have a problem here. Because he's just not, is he? Really? I mean, this is why, Saint Maximin is causing so many divisions amongst the fans. Because if he was as good as Sadio Mane, he would be in the French national team. He would be chased by a lot of the top clubs around Europe, never mind just the Premier League. But he isn't. There's no offers ever come in for him. Nobody is actually coming out and saying, yeah, Saint Maximin's linked with such and such in the summer. Nothing at all. So what does that tell you? The comments from Vieira regarding Maximin, the comments regarding Maximin from Didier Deschamps. These people who are football and icons have come out and said that he's not good enough yet until he gets a finishing product and things like that, because at the moment it's all about him. And when he states in an interview like that, I mean, God, can you imagine the Liverpool dressing room looking at that? Christ almighty, and especially Sadio Mane, he'd probably just have a little giggle to himself. He went on to say, the day when I have a player capable of finishing the actions, i.e. assists, I will have seasons with 10 to 15 assists, and I will change opinions in the people's heads. Now, just get on and do it. If you think you're that good, then get on and do it. You don't have to come out in a newspaper and spout a load of rubbish like that. Because if I was a player in the same dressing room as Saint Maximin and I read that, I'm annoyed. I'm thinking, God, this guy, is he really a team player? Because I don't think he is. I think it's all about him. When he talks about getting 10 to 15 assists, it's me, me, me. He doesn't talk about, I will help the team by getting 10 to 15 assists. It's all about, I will. I am a player capable. Well, you haven't shown that. And that's why you're not getting in the national team either. I don't think you've been particularly great this season, but, the potential is there without a shadow of a doubt. But many people have this opinion that Maximin is this great player. He has got a long way to go before he becomes a great player, because he has to have a finishing touch. He has to be able to put the ball in the back of the net on a regular basis, and he has to cross the ball on a regular basis. And one thing about Maxi is he doesn't know when to release the football. And until he does that, he will not become this great player that he actually believes in his own head that he is at the moment. And that would ring alarm bells for me in Eddie Howe's head as well, thinking, wow, this guy's coming out saying he's got nothing to envy from Sadio Mane. So what is he going to be like at training? Does he actually want to learn? Or does he think he's up there with the best already? Questions have to be asked. And then finally he says, doing things that make an impression, changing the rules. That's the goal. Like what Michael Jordan managed to do. Jordan, he changed some of people's lives. He gave people work, and that's the beauty of it. Again, comparing himself to an absolute legend. And, if St Maximin wants to get to this level, then I'm sorry, he's got a long way to go. For me, it creates dressing room unrest, because some of the players will be looking at him thinking, who were you meaning when you were talking about, better players around you? Were you talking about the strikers? Were you talking about the midfielders? Were you talking about the whole squad? It starts to ask questions in the dressing room and causes division. And I think Maxi, looking at him, he could be one of those players that does that. Now, on the flip side of it, does it give the players around him a kick up the arse and think, right, he's right, we've got to do better. We've got to get ourselves in that position to be able to convert these chances that Maxi is apparently creating. Now, yes, as I said, the stats will show that, apart from the big six, the 14 other teams, he is top of the chances created list. But has he really created them chances, or is it just by luck that these chances have accumulated? Because he runs across the middle. Teams have worked him out now. They just stand off him a little bit because they know that, 9 out of 10 or 19 out of 20 shots will just balloon over the bar or go wide, or the final pass isn't there. I just think it's, all in all, I don't think it would certainly not motivate me listening to comments like that from a fellow player. And I think that it has to be addressed because, again, he's had so many people having a dig at him for thinking it's all about him. And that just gives everybody ammunition to think, yeah, it is all about him. That's all he's talking about. It's all about Maxi. That's all he wants. So for me, disappointing. I don't know why he said it. He should just let his... If he's got something to prove, let his football do the talking. So many times we see footballers come out and say, I can improve, or I can do this, I can do that, and we're going to do this. But do it on the pitch. Convince everybody with your football, not with your words. And it annoys me when players come out and say things like this, because for me, Maxi's had a poor season. He hasn't been up there with the best players in the league, not by a long shot. And yes, as I said, he's got tremendous potential and nothing's going to take that away. He's a fantastic dribbler of the ball. But he can take his game to the next level if he wanted to by providing good passes or good finishes. But at the minute, when he's running fast with the ball, he can't shoot it. He just can't shoot on target, and that is a worry. But comparing himself to Sadio Mane, I think, is a long way off, and it's a bit embarrassing. And I think some of his teammates will look at that and think, you know what, he's no right to say that. We as fans know that the likes of Chris Wood, etc., that are around him up front, probably not good enough. But does Maxi think he's good enough? Quite clearly by that. But for me, he's got a long way to go before we can call Maxi a great player. And it's disappointing. Because, like I say, the last thing Newcastle need at the minute, when they're on the up and things are going really well, fantastic coaching staff, new owners, and the players are playing with a little bit of confidence, you get one of the players coming out and saying that he would get a lot more assists if he was playing with great players around him. Now, he probably would, in fairness, he probably would get more assists, but you don't come out and say things like that because, he's got a long way to go before we can be confident of calling him a great player. It's just wrong. And I'm sorry, but, I know there's a lot of Maxi fans out there, but I think he's embarrassed himself with that comment, to be honest. Let the football do the talking on the pitch, not in the words. And we've said that so many times about various, players coming out with quotes and things like that. But Maxi, just get on with the football, man. On a lighter note, Jamal Lascelles has come out in massive praise for Joelinton, stating that, when he first came to the club, he was handed the number 9 shirt. He was probably played out of position, which is a very interesting comment, because you can think, is he talking about Steve Bruce there making a mistake? Probably so. But he went on to say, for the way he's bounced back and he's now become a big fan favourite, it just shows you the strength mentally of the man as well. And I agree. Joelinton took so much hammer when he, in his first couple of seasons at the club, because we didn't think there was a player in there. Some people did. Some people did say, just bear with us. But then he found that midfield position in the Norwich game, and he hasn't looked back since. And credit to him, because he's clearly worked his arse off for Eddie Howe. He's also listened to what Eddie Howe had to say as well, and that's come to fruition and brought him so much success this season, to the point where by far and away he's been the most improved player, if not the best player for Newcastle this season, which will be interesting when this channel does the player awards at the end of the year, current season, sorry. But there you go. Let me know what you think about Maxi's comments. Do you think he's got a point, or do you think he needs to concentrate on his football, on his own, on the team game, and concentrate on doing the right things instead of, making mistakes, taking too many people on, and comparing himself with Sadio Mane? Really? It's a bit laughable, but let me know down below what you think. And if you're new to the channel, as usual, please do subscribe. Do hit the notification bell, which will let you know when we do upload or record videos. You can become a member of the Toon Review if you hit the join button just underneath. But if you're on iOS, you may well have to go across to Instagram. Click the channel link in there. That'll take you to a desktop version where you can become a member. And also, obviously, if you have enjoyed the video today, please do stick the thumbs up on it and let YouTube know that something is very good on this channel. Do join us tomorrow night, of course, 8 p.m. for the match preview with me, Billy, Danielle and Stato. And also 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon with myself is the live watch-along alternative commentary on the game. So it should be fantastic. Knock the Sky commentary off and listen to me and watch the game, and we'll have some fun. But thank you very much for watching the video. Have a great day. Be kind and take care.